In this little video I'm going to show you an alternative way of joining your new colour yarn onto your work. Normally we would begin by joining with a slip stitch, so picking up the yarn from behind, drawing it through, attaching it with a slip stitch and then working the number of chains needed for the next stitch. In this pattern we're using mainly treble stitches, so I would now work 3 chain, which is counted as my first treble, and then into that chain space work another 2 treble stitches to finish that combination. So what I've then got, looking back at that, is a slip stitch followed by my 3 chain, which is counting as 1 treble stitch, and then 2 more trebles. But I want to show you an alternative technique for joining, which is called the standing treble join. And this is a very good way of beginning your round because it means you don't have to do a slip stitch, and you don't have to do your chains, and you actually are beginning straight away with a treble stitch. So we start by holding the yarn in our right hand, and with our hook I'm going to wrap threads around the hook to create the loops that I'm going to use for my treble stitch. So I'm going to do it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to hold on to that and now pick up my piece, and I'm working through this chain space. So from the top through, I'm going to put my hook through and pass that thread across over the top. Now I'm going to work a treble stitch, and I'm going to use these loops on my hook as the loops of the stitch. So first of all, yarn on, pull it through, and now yarn on through the first 2 loops, and then yarn on through the second 2 loops. I've got 1 spare wrap there, but I'm going to hold on to that. So I've straight away joined my colour using a treble stitch. Now don't let go of your threads at this point, otherwise it all undoes. So I've got to keep on going. And I'm now going to work another treble stitch into that space. At this point I can let go of that extra wrap, and I'll just get my hand into the correct position, and I'm going to work 1 more treble stitch to complete that combination. So now looking back at the work, you can see I've started this round with a treble stitch followed by 2 more treble stitches. So instead of having that beginning where we had the slip stitch and the 3 chain, this way it all looks much more uniform and you can't see where the beginning will be. So once I've worked through the whole round and I join again, you won't be able to see where the beginning or the end is. So that's another way of joining your colour using the standing treble join.